In the heart of the remote town of Raven's Hollow, nestled between ancient woods and mist-covered hills, an ominous secret cast a foreboding shadow over the otherwise quaint community. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a palpable unease settled upon Raven's Hollow, for with the darkness came the emergence of shadowy figures, ethereal entities that only prowled the streets under the shroud of night. The townsfolk spoke in hushed whispers about the elusive beings, their stories passing through generations like a ghostly wind. Legend held that these shadowy figures were soul stealers, creatures that materialized with the fall of twilight to claim the essence of unsuspecting souls. Those who had crossed paths with the shadows were said to be forever changed, their vitality drained, leaving behind mere husks of their former selves. Among the residents of Raven's Hollow was a young woman named Elara. Her inquisitive nature and adventurous spirit often led her to explore the town's nooks and crannies, even as the sun dipped below the horizon. Elara was skeptical of the townsfolk's tales, dismissing the shadowy figures as nothing more than folklore meant to keep the curious in check. One moonlit night, Elara found herself wandering through the dimly lit streets of Raven's Hollow. The air was thick with an otherworldly tension, and the looming silhouettes of the ancient trees added an eerie quality to the surroundings. As she strolled deeper into the heart of the town, Elara noticed a subtle change in the atmosphere. Shadows seemed to detach themselves from the corners, coalescing into sinuous forms that slinked along the edges of the buildings. Elara felt a chill crawl down her spine, but curiosity held her ground. She watched as the shadowy figures danced in the moonlight, their movements fluid and mesmerizing. Unfazed, Elara continued her journey, dismissing the tales of soul-stealing shadows as mere superstition. The entities seemed to acknowledge her presence, their wispy tendrils swirling in the air as if in a silent dance. She laughed at the notion that these shadows could pose any threat, reveling in the beauty of their nocturnal ballet. Days turned into nights, and Elara's encounters with the shadowy figures became a regular occurrence. The town, however, remained shrouded in an uneasy stillness during daylight hours. The once bustling market square, now devoid of life, stood as a testament to the fear that gripped Raven's Hollow after the sun dipped below the horizon. Rumours spread of the shadows growing bolder, venturing beyond their nocturnal haunts into the outskirts of the town. Fear became a palpable presence, and the townsfolk, once united in their skepticism, now whispered anxiously in the daylight, haunted by the spectre of the soul-stealing shadows. One evening, as Elara strolled through the deserted streets, she sensed a change in the atmosphere. The air crackled with an unsettling energy, and the shadows seemed to converge, forming a dense, amorphous mass that blocked her path. The once playful dance took on a sinister tone, and Elara's skepticism wavered for the first time. The shadows enveloped her, tendrils of darkness reaching out as if to grasp her very soul. Elara felt an icy chill seep into her being, a sensation that transcended the physical realm. Panic clawed at her chest, and the once beautiful dance of shadows transformed into a nightmarish spectacle. In the midst of the encroaching darkness, Elara glimpsed faces, countless faces contorted in silent anguish. These were not just shadows, they were the remnants of souls, trapped in an eternal dance of torment. The whispers of the townsfolk echoed in her mind, and the gravity of the legends became a tangible force. With a surge of terror, Elara fought against the suffocating darkness, breaking free from the clutches of the soul-stealing shadows. Gasping for breath, she stumbled back into the moonlit streets, her once skeptical eyes now wide with horror. The shadows, having lost their captive, receded into the night, leaving Elara shaken and changed. As the first light of dawn painted the horizon, Raven's Hollow awakened to a town transformed. The soul-stealing shadows, once confined to the cover of darkness, now cast their ominous presence even in the daylight. Fear became an unspoken truth, etched in the eyes of those who dared to venture beyond the safety of their homes. Elara, mocked by her harrowing encounter, sought to unravel the mystery that now gripped Raven's Hollow in a vice-like hold. She delved into the town's history, uncovering forgotten tales of a pact made long ago, a pact that bound the shadows to Raven's Hollow, their insatiable hunger for souls a consequence of a dark bargain struck by the town's founders. As Elara pieced together the fragments of the past, she discovered that the only way to sever the town's connection to the soul-stealing shadows was to confront the source of their power. A dilapidated mansion, hidden deep within the woods, stood as the epicenter of the supernatural phenomenon that plagued Raven's Hollow. Undeterred by the looming threat, Elara rallied a group of courageous townsfolk to accompany her on a perilous journey to the mansion. The air thickened with tension as they ventured into the heart of the ancient woods, guided by a sense of duty and the desperate hope of freeing Raven's Hollow from the shadow's grip. The mansion, once grand but now cloaked in an aura of malevolence, loomed before them. As they crossed the threshold, a chilling silence settled upon the group. The grand foyer, adorned with dusty chandeliers and decaying furniture, held a haunting stillness that belied the lurking presence within. In the depths of the mansion, Elara and her companions uncovered an ancient chamber adorned with symbols of a forgotten ritual. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as they realized that the shadows were bound by an ancient curse. A curse that could only be broken by confronting the malevolent force that held sway over Raven's Hollow. As they delved deeper into the mansion's secrets, Elara uncovered the story of the town's founders, desperate to escape a dire fate. In their desperation, they had made a pact with a shadowy entity, binding Raven's Hollow to an eternal night and subjecting its inhabitants to the insatiable hunger of the soul-stealing shadows. With newfound resolve, Elara and her companions prepared to face the entity that lurked within the mansion. The air trembled with a sense of urgency as they approached the heart of the curse, guided by a mixture of dread and determination. The mansion seemed to come alive, its walls whispering the tales of the past, as if urging them to bring an end to the shadow's reign. In a dimly lit chamber, they confronted the malevolent force, an entity that thrived on the torment of trapped souls. The shadows, once elusive, coalesced into a sinister figure that loomed over the room. The air grew heavy with the weight of despair as the entity, fueled by centuries of anguish, sought to maintain its grip on Raven's Hollow. A fierce battle ensued as Elara and her companions fought to break the shackles of the curse. The entity, desperate to protect its dominion, unleashed the full force of the shadows. The air crackled with dark energy as the chamber became a battleground between the living and the supernatural. In the midst of the chaos, Elara uncovered a forgotten artifact, an ancient amulet said to hold the key to breaking the curse. With determination burning in her eyes, she approached the entity and plunged the amulet into the heart of its dark essence. The mansion quaked as the curse began to unravel, the shadows recoiling in pain. As the entity faded into the echoes of the past, the shadows dissipated, leaving behind a town bathed in the warm glow of dawn. The first rays of sunlight pierced through the ancient woods, dispelling the lingering darkness that had plagued Raven's Hollow for centuries. The townsfolk, freed from the grip of the soul-stealing shadows, emerged from their homes, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and astonishment. Raven's Hollow, once imprisoned in eternal night, now stood bathed in the light of a new day. The curse had been broken, and the town's legacy of fear and despair was replaced with the promise of a brighter future. Elara, hailed as the town's savior, stood in the midst of the rejuvenated Raven's Hollow. The once haunting legends had become tales of resilience and triumph, a testament to the strength of those who dared to confront the shadows that lurked in the corners of the unknown. The ancient woods, once a source of fear, now whispered with the gentle rustle of leaves, carrying the promise of a town reborn. As Raven's Hollow embraced the dawn of a new era, the memory of the soul-stealing shadows lingered like a distant nightmare. The town, scarred by its supernatural past, stood united in the face of adversity, its residents determined to forge a destiny free from the shadows that had once threatened to consume their very souls.